What's going on, people? Today I want to talk about month 3 and month 6 of Freeform logs. So, during the third month of growing Freeform logs, I stopped washing my hair. So, by that point, my hair was the tips of my hair were locked up and there were sections. So, as soon as that happens, in order to grow congos or to grow the natural organic look of Freeform logs, you have to stop washing them because when you wash them, your hair gets untangled. So um, if you carry on washing your hair while you're trying to lock it up, uh, it doesn't add up. You're going backwards. So you have to stop washing your hair to allow it to grow naturally, so that it's not manipulated. Yeah. When I stopped washing my hair, I invested in a spray bottle. Spray bottle is really cheap, so I don't think you can make an excuse and say you can't afford it. So you need a spray bottle to give your hair water to keep it alive. Just like we need water to stay healthy, also the hair needs water. So you need to water your hair every day. But there's a catch when it comes to watering your hair. You should never overdo it. It should be a balance, because the minute you overdo it, your hair is gonna get soaking wet. When it gets soaking wet, you're gonna have to dry it. And when you dry your hair with a towel, you manipulate your hair. So what we want is to get hands free as possible. So you shouldn't touch your hair as possible, because we want it to grow naturally and not manipulated, so that it looks free form. Yeah, a spray bottle is really important. Since I don't give my hair products, I don't wash my hair with conditioner, or just in general, I don't wash my hair at this point. um a spray bottle helps. It's big, because if you don't wash your hair, it gets dry. If it gets dry, it gets itchy. If it gets itchy, it looks a mess, because when your hair is dandruff, it looks disgusting. So yeah, the fourth month was the ugly phase. So when you stop washing your hair and you just give it water, and those sections that you created during the those methods that I talked about in the previous video, um the ugly phase, yeah. So when those sections form, the tips lock up. When the tips lock up, your hair still needs to grow, to blossom. So the ugly phase hits. That's when I feel like most people give up. I feel like the ugly phase is a test on what it's a test on whether you're about this. Because if you're not about this, of course you're gonna give up and you're gonna cry, or you're gonna complain and stuff like that. But then the ugly phase, bro, in order to overcome it, you don't have to do anything. You should be patient. That's all you need to do. Just patience. That's how I got through the ugly phase. Because I would get crazy comments, bro. I would hear my mother telling me that I look like the hobos that we see in town. Bro, it looked insane. And also it affects your self-esteem, because if you look a certain way and you look like you're not clean, of course you're gonna feel not clean. So yeah, the ugly phase is crazy. So yeah, in the fourth month, second thing that I did, I didn't do anything to my hair. I didn't wear no hats. I didn't manipulate it. I wasn't twisting it, because at first, when the sections form, you need to twist your hair at the tip so that it can lock up. It also speeds up the process, but you also, it's a balance. You shouldn't overdo it. You should twist at the tip. Never get to the root, because when you get to the root, it's no longer free from locks. They will never grow Congos. So yeah, I didn't do anything to it. I didn't manipulate it. I didn't play with it. When I sleep, I didn't even wear a cap or anything. Some people say they wear caps and stuff like that. I didn't want to like do a lot, so I just did it. I left it alone. I just lived my life. So the first month, what I did was I was just consistent. I just gave my hair water every day, and I make sure that when I dry it, I go outside and get fresh air so that it dries naturally. So yeah, second thing I did was just to be patient. I have to be hella patient. If you are not patient, you will never get this kind of hair. In fact, if you are not patient, you won't get anything in life, bro. Because you have to be patient enough to study for a test, then go to the test and write it. If you weren't patient to study for that test, you're not gonna get anything. You're not gonna take anything in. It's gonna come up, it's gonna come in one ear and go out the other here because you weren't patient, you're just rushing through it. So if you take your time and you be patient, you're gonna actually reap a lot of what you sow. So yeah, the month 6, that's when the Congos started forming. So let me explain this again. Congos are when your hair, when multiple hair grows into one. So one or more strands of locks, when they grow together and form one lock, that's when it's a Congo. So that's when the Congos started forming. Because the thing is, when you start growing freeform locks, your hair is like when the sections form, the hair is thin and it's the same width and the height. So when you just leave it alone, it grows together. My hair looks thick now, but when I started, it was thin. These locks were not this thick. So the only way you can get thick, natural locks is by not touching your hair, not manipulating it. That's when you're gonna get Congos. And I feel like Congos are really important because I mean the thickness is nice because I don't want my hair looking like noodles. So I think it's better when there are different sizes, widths, and like look at my hair. This is probably the biggest Congo. Look at this. It's huge. It's a big Congo. Then you got other thin ones. Look at this one. It's really thin. So I wanted the imperfect look. So I think yeah, I think I've accomplished my goal. The last thing that I did on month 6, I spread my hair. I separated, I mean. You separate it according to your taste. So by separating, I mean, so when your hair grows, when it grows together, the strands interlock. So there are certain strands that you don't want to interlock, like these two strands. I don't want them to interlock, but you can see it's growing together here. If I leave it alone, it's gonna become one big lock. So I have to separate this before it's too late. Because once it grows together like that, there's nothing you can do. It's like this one. There's nothing I can do to separate these two locks. It's one lock at this point. So month 6, when you get Congos, you should separate them according to your taste. If you want thick locks, you don't separate them, you leave them. But when you see that the the thickness it's enough for you, that's when you stop it from growing together with other locks that are nearby. This one is huge too. That's huge. And I prefer that level of thickness. I don't want to go beyond it because if I go beyond it, it's just gonna be one big lock here, and that doesn't look good for me. So yeah, that's month 3 and month 6 of Free From Locks. Thank you for watching the video.